admits mistake over medic killings in Gaza. We're obviously going to start with that. This is not exactly a fun story to start off with, but it's a very important one. My coverage on this is not just going to talk about the atrocities, but instead I'm going to be talking about the Western reception and the media, the media criticism side of this, because it's yet another disgusting story that you guys are familiar with. BBC just tiptoeing around, huh? Dude, I know. The command over the English language that these guys demonstrate whenever they want to talk about Israel doing something horrifying never ceases to amaze me. I saw an article headline that was so insane that it just wasn't even English anymore. It wasn't even the English language anymore. It was just something different. It took a life of its own. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Dude, this is the Jerusalem Post, right? Like look at this. IDF tries to reset narrative on mistaken killing of 14 Gazan aid workers. Bro, at that point, just don't even try. I don't know what you're doing. What does this mean? What does anything mean? What is this title, bro? Look, the Jerusalem Post obviously is uniquely bad. So they're not in the business of like educating people on the truth at all. And this kind of stuff basically proves, oh, this is what I was looking for. This was the original title. What is happening to the English language? IDF tries to reset mistaken killing of 14 Red Cross workers. IDF tries to reset narrative on mistaken killing of 14 Gazan aid workers. What does that mean? What like tries to reset? Like they try to bring him back alive? Is that what happened? Trey Yingst, who I've talked about quite a bit. He is Fox News' foreign correspondent, as you guys know. And he is one of the only major news publication journalists that has actively called out Israel. It's so insane that he is the Fox News foreign correspondent. He is their guy in Israel. He's done a lot of, pro-Israel propaganda, make no mistake. But in the sea of that pro-Israel propaganda, he is one of the only journalists in any mainstream publication that has demonstrated a clear conscience on the assassination of his colleagues that happen to be Palestinian. It is crazy that it's the Fox News guy. And now he's also covering the unmarked mass graves of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, the first responders that Israel assassinated.
Paramedics from the Palestine Red Crescent dig through the earth of southern Gaza. They're recovering the bodies of their colleagues killed by Israeli forces. On March 23rd, first responders were dispatched to this area of Rafah. When they arrived, Israeli soldiers opened fire.
Health workers should never be a target, and yet we're here today digging up a mass grave of first responders and paramedics.
On March 31st, the IDF provided a statement to Fox News saying, quote, several vehicles were identified advancing suspiciously toward IDF troops without headlights or emergency signals. Video released 5 days later by the Palestine Red Crescent directly contradicts that statement. The IDF also claimed in the initial findings that 9 out of the 15 medics were operatives in Hamas and Islamic Jihad. Asked multiple times for evidence to support that claim, none was provided. Funerals were held late last week for those killed by Israeli bullets. Families mourning the dead, mothers trying to make sense of the senseless. He went to save the martyrs and injured.
Dude, he's not mincing his words at all. It's crazy. He's not. Like, how is this better coverage than BBC, man? A shame. Shame on the BBC. Shame on CNN. Shame on all Western news publications that are getting outflanked by one singular dude who, on normal circumstances, is still doing a steady flow of Hasbara. But in this circumstance and in some other unique instances where he'll just be like, no, this is bullshit. How is it that there's like a handful of mainstream reporters that every now and then will accurately cover the news? How is that the expectation here? It's crazy.
And we've been waiting for him for a week. We were told that he was either martyred or injured, but I realized that they had killed them from the very first moment. They had killed them and buried them underground. As bodies of these medics rest inside white plastic bags with a photo attached, the face of Rifat Radwan stands out, the man who recorded his final moments with a final message. Forgive me, Mother. This is the path I chose to help people, he said.
Israel is based as sick, man. It's so funny that Israel dick riders don't realize that they're contributing to people hating Israel with the ways in which they choose to defend Israel and the horrifying actions that they even try to cover. His last words were praying to God. He says, "Forgive me, Mother. This is the path I chose to help people." He was found in a mass grave with a bullet inside his head, alongside all of the other paramedics, alongside all of the other Red Cross workers. Israel had buried them and the ambulances as well in an effort to hide it. And predictably, Israel did the exact same things that they do. Number one, Israel does not mention any of the atrocities or even run defense for any of the atrocities that it commits normally until Western media starts making a fuss about one of the horrible acts that it has committed on a daily basis. They do stuff like this all the time. We cover it here all the time. Our coverage on this, of course, is not the same as the New York Times covering it or CNN. The only reason why you're even hearing about this story or Israel responding to the story by lying is because they had to respond to it. And once they respond to any of the horrible actions that they're engaging in, the playbook is always the same. First, they say they were Hamas. Then more evidence comes out. Then they say, okay, maybe they weren't Hamas. We mistakenly thought that they looked like Hamas. Then more evidence comes out. They say, okay, even the footage itself shows that there was not even a single piece of evidence that could lead us to believe that they were in any way, shape, or form remotely suspicious. They lie about the most basic shit. They lied in this situation saying like the ambulances did not have their lights on. They were moving in a suspicious way. There was a Hamas militant in the ambulance. They just lie about everything, every part of this. That also is directly contradicted by the truth. They turn around and they go, okay, we're going to investigate ourselves. It was a mistake. That's the final stage. And then months later, when people follow up, they either say, yeah, we're still conducting an investigation, or never conclude the investigation. Or if they do conclude the investigation, they'll say, sorry, we're not going to punish the people. Basically a tap on the wrist at most. That is literally the only thing that ever happens. Israel. I know we lied about the ambulance workers, Shiva Hospital, Flower Massacre, beheaded babies, Hamas Hospital, Hind Rajab, the terror list, days of the week, World Central Kitchen workers, babies in ovens, white phosphorus, deliberately starving Gazans, Sinwar surrounding himself with 20 hostages in a tunnel, gassing hostages, the Al Ahli Hospital, killing women and children with white flags, mass rape of Palestinians, non-existent tunnels under graveyards, Nasser Hospital, Hussam Abu Safia, mass graves, snipers targeting kids in the head, providing protection to criminal gangs that loot aid, wiping out Gaza, who refused / collapsed the ceasefire, Israel did, blowing up, and then lied and said it was Hamas, blowing up the Gazans fleeing south, Kamal Adwan Hospital, claiming dead Gazan children are dolls, creating safe zones, the general's plan, how many Hamas militants were killed, Red Crescent taking part on October 7, calling killed journalists Hamas militants, Mohammed Abu Salmiya, the Indonesian hospital, UNRWA Al-Auda Hospital, killing women sheltering at church, bombing the church, destroying every single Gazan university, the Turkish Cancer Hospital, Hamas hiding giant stockpiles of fuel in Rafah, finding active smuggling tunnels in Rafah, hostages returning pregnant, who killed Yossi Sharabi, Itai Svirsky, Nick Bazer, Ron Sherman, Elia Toledano. Every single thing that Israel says is a lie.